Ừ. Oh, they're still waiting for her. Maybe she's forgotten.
Hello, teacher. I'm here.
Ah, Ngọc, how are you?
I'm doing great. I have just when gone to the second floor to fix my connection is kind of unstable.
Oh, sorry, Ngọc, I can't hear you. You drop out. I can see you.
I fixed my connection, so
Ah,
it's
okay.
kind of unstable, but it's now okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Did you forget we had a class or?
No, teachers, I have. It took me 15 minutes to fix that. I have
Oh,
checked
really?
it on. Yes, I have put it on my schedule, so I don't
Right. Oh,
forget it.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. So your connection is okay now?
Yes, it's more than okay.
That's great. No, I can hear and see you very clearly. That's great. Works very
Yes,
well. Yeah, yeah. So how are you feeling this week?
I feel as fit as a fiddle.
Fit
Maybe
as a fiddle.
sometimes I feel kind of busy because I have to like revise. I have to revise for my examination, so
Right.
it's kind of boring.
Okay. When is your examination? At the end of the month?
No, it's the Saturday in the next weeks. It's
Next next
21st.
next Saturday.
Yes, it's a 21st and in June.
Okay.
A
Is that is
21st. Yes.
okay, 21st of June. Is that the excuse me, is that the same for all students your age?
Yes, I'm grade 11 and I'm now on the grade 12, so I'm be 17 years old. I think it's a little older than the student in our class.
Okay, okay. So will the other students have a test next Saturday as well? Or you're
Oh
not
no,
sure?
only me. I think only me
Only you.
because everyone in class, I think they will be like they are younger than me, 1 or 2
Right.
years old. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. But what about Nok Ling? She is in your class, isn't she?
Oh my God, I forgot to tell Ngọc Linh about this class. But Miss Hart told me that she gonna take an exam in August, like two months.
Oh, the IELTS exam. But does Nok Ling have a test next Saturday as well,
I
like
think
you?
no,
No.
I think no, only me.
Ah, only you. Only you. Okay. What about Kwang Ming?
Quang Minh, I'm not too familiar with. Is the tall
Okay.
guy, the tall
Yeah.
guy with
Yes.
the
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with him, so
Oh,
I
okay. I
think
thought
so.
I thought he was in your. I thought he was at your school as well.
Oh, no, he is like uh, I mean, he's a relatives of Miss Ha, so I'm not have a chance to like get his
Okay.
contact.
All right. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So, do you want to practice anything in particular this morning?
I'm not sure. I think firstly we should talk about part one. I have just lear learned from my friend who went
Yes.
to IELTS exam last no yesterday, and
Right.
she told me that it was a disaster because the part two and part three she received a topic of science, and I think that's such a disaster.
Right. Right. What she
Yeah.
didn't. She couldn't think of what to say. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
She couldn't think
I
of any answer.
she was asked about science and biology, but our
Right.
class is kind of towards the literature and also like some
Right.
geography and history. So she's not
Right.
took major in some science and biology as well.
Okay, okay. It's hard when you get a topic you don't know anything about. I know. Okay, all right. Well, we can just practice some part one and then go on to two and three if you like.
Yes,
Okay, all right. So does my voice sound okay? I've got a cold. You can probably see.
yes,
I've got a wet nose today. Very
yes. I
cold, very
think
cold here today. It's only
yes.
about 0 degrees,
Oh,
and
it's too cold.
I've got a cold as well. So
Oh,
very annoying.
today in Vietnam. Oh, Hanoi is today is 31 degree. I
Oh,
think
wow.
it's
Nice.
kind of
Nice.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of hot. Kind of hot. Okay. All right. So I'll ask you just some quick part one questions and see how you go. So, like Miss Ha and I were saying to you the other afternoon, Minh Ngọc, I think you have all the vocabulary already. Okay. And you just have to remember that you're having a conversation. Obviously, part two is not a real
Yes.
conversation because you have to give a talk, but you still approach it like it's a conversation, if that makes sense. Okay. So you
Yes.
don't, yeah, you don't treat it like you are giving a speech, in other words. You just answer the question. And also remember for part two to make your own bullet points is very important. All right. Um, maybe this is where your friend yesterday had some problem when she came up against a topic that she wasn't familiar with. You have to be prepared for that, that maybe you will see something, oh my God, I know nothing about this, but quickly make up your own bullet points about something else. So I don't know. Maybe they ask you, did she say what they asked her a question about? Did she have in, was, or just about science, you said?
She was asked. I only remember one question is that, uh, what do you prefer, like science or biology? I have only remembered that
Okay.
question.
Well, was that a part one question?
It's a part three question.
Sorry,
When
part three.
yes, when she followed the part two. So this is about topic of science.
Okay.
And but
I
however,
Yeah,
yes,
I'm just trying to think because of course they don't expect you to know everything. Of course, but you just need to be able to talk for 2 minutes about something that is connected to the topic. So, for example, if maybe they ask me if I saw a question about science, like they might say something like, "Do you think it's important for all children to learn science?" You um, tell me why you think this is important. Tell me what sort of science they should know, and explain in detail. Um, you know, something like that. I would almost be say I could almost say to them, actually, no, I don't think it's important to learn science. I don't do science at school. This is what I do at school. Okay, and write your bullet points down about what you do at school or what you think is important. Okay. Because
yes,
remember, in the end, all they are looking for is your ability to, as I keep saying, communicate and talk for 2 minutes in good English about something. Does that make
yes,
sense? So if
yes.
you
I know
if
it's a
so if you get
yeah.
a complicated topic that you know nothing about, explain to me how a nuclear reactor works. I mean,
Yes.
who knows that? You just say, actually, I don't know anything about nuclear reactor, but my favorite subject at school is history.
Is that like count as a mistake as not a tax achievement? I kind of
Don't
scared.
think so. No, because the task achievement here is for you to talk for 2 minutes.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
Talk for 2 minutes with as few mistakes as possible. All right?
Okay.
That's why you can make your own bullet points. And hopefully you will get a subject you know something about and you won't have this problem. But if you get a subject you know nothing about, like, how does the sun work or something like that,
Oh.
you know, that
Yes.
kind of thing, you just say, look, I can't tell you how the sun works, but I can tell you. Yeah. And
Yes.
just talk for 2 minutes about that. That's what they are assessing, your ability to communicate.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I understood it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
it's getting quite hard.
much better than trying to talk for 2 minutes about something you know nothing about,
Yes.
and then you start to get stressed and you start to get confused and you can't think of any more ideas. Much better to talk for 2 minutes. Okay? on
Yes.
something you know something about, then you will get marks for fluency. Okay, you'll get marks for vocabulary. You'll get marks for everything. Okay,
Yes.
the actual topic is only a tiny part of that. They probably won't worry about that as long as you explain at the beginning. You know, I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything about the sun, but I can tell you about, and then show you can communicate about something else. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I don't think I can think of any like feel at that time. Maybe I'm gonna talk about my daily routine instead of how the sun works.
Something like that. But as long as you talk for 2 minutes, that is the test. Can
Yes.
can you talk for 2 minutes fluently without too many mistakes?
Yes.
That is the test. That is all the test is about. The actual topic doesn't matter too much. Doesn't matter too much. Does that make sense?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so just relax. So that's why I keep saying very important that you make your own bullet points. Okay? Whether
Yes.
you know the topic or not, that will give you enough to talk about. And like I say, your vocabulary is pretty good, Ming.
Think
Okay?
I'm
And
not too
yeah, it is
I'm not
pretty
too
good.
confident at this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It is good enough, Ming. And also you can talk very easily. Now, I've heard you before, of course. We've been doing this for a while now, and you can be very fluent. Anyway, so that is the technique. Does that make sense? You have to keep in mind what you are
Yes.
there to do. You are there to talk for 2 minutes fluently without too many mistakes. Okay? The subject doesn't matter so much. All right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about that? I
I
think,
think I have no
yeah,
question.
I think this is where many students they get confused because they try to answer the topic exactly, and just like you were saying, sometimes you would run out of ideas if it's a topic you know nothing about. Okay, let's do some part one questions, all right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Do you like to take photos?
Yes, I love to take photos because I love to record all the beautiful scenery I have seen in my life.
For example.
For example, I love taking pictures of my dogs or maybe some cats or something that I accidentally meet when I hang out. Maybe like a little bit flowers.
Okay, so that is long enough, all right? So always
Yeah.
remember, use an example, okay, if you can. You don't have to do it every time, all right? But it is a useful way of maybe extending your answer a little bit,
Yes.
okay? So just to correct your answer, you would say, yes, I really enjoy taking photos. I like taking photos of the things I see around me that make me happy. For example, I love taking photos, if I'm in the street sometime of cats and dogs. That makes me happy. And for a part one question, that is enough. Okay. Don't
Yes.
have to be too detailed. Just 2 or 3 sentences. Remember, part one is just to help you warm up. All right. Part three is where you have to get more detailed. But
Yes.
part one, just
Okay.
just do 2 or 3 sentences, okay, that make sense. Just try to relax into part one. So don't think that you have to, oh, I've got to talk in more detail about this. Teacher Rick says I must give an example. Okay. If you give an example, a short one. For example, I like taking photos of cats and dogs. I like animals.
Yes.
Simple as that. Okay? Very simple.
Yes.
Simple example, not long example. Okay. Here's another one. Um, do you ever travel by public transport?
Um, I have, but is only whenever I'm in a hurry, because on the one hand, public transport like bus are really convenient for me to get on time and get to there early. But on the other hand, I think the bus is have like an not too frequent schedule for me to adapt with.
Okay. All right. Let's do that one again. So your answer is okay, but it's not very fluent. All right. You are
Yes.
you are almost thinking too much when you're
Oh, yes.
talking about this. So let me give you an example of an answer to this. Do you travel by public transport? Yes, sometimes. The bus is very convenient, but on the other hand, its schedule, its timetable, it doesn't come very frequently, so it's not always convenient to me.
Yes.
Okay? And
Okay.
that's all, just like that. And remember, just to relax. Remember, you're having a conversation with me, Ming Nok. Okay, so talk to
Yes.
me. Do you travel by public transport, Ming Nok?
Yes, sometimes, uh, because I in yes, sometimes because when I get took some uh, th- I I'm not sure because I am scared that the examiner will think that I memorize the answer, but actually I am thinking about it.
Right. Okay, so start again then. Okay, start again. Just give me an
Yes.
answer, just like we are talking in a cafe. Okay, Ming Nok? Or we are
Yes.
talking,
Okay.
we are sitting at Miss Ha's house, and I say to you, "Hey, Ming Nok, do you ever catch the bus?"
Mm, yes, sometimes um, I find it kind of difficult to adapt with the public transport schedule like buses. But whenever I have a chance, I would love to go by public transport than going on my own vehicle.
Okay, bit better, a bit better.
Yes.
You still need to relax a bit more. Okay.
Yes.
All right. When was the last time you traveled by public transport?
I think it just 2 weeks ago when I have a chance to go to my family's oh the, I think I'm gonna overthink it, so I'm gonna
Yes.
try again.
Yeah, yeah. When was the last time you traveled by public transport?
I think it 2 weeks ago when I have a chance to visit my hometown. It's take me a long way to go and I don't have any transport, so I'm try to use the public transport instead.
Okay, so here's to correct your answer. 2 weeks ago, when I went to visit my family's hometown, I like taking public transport there, much easier than going by private transport, and the bus is very comfortable.
Yes, I
Okay,
think that is
just
yeah.
just like that, just like that, just simple answers. I mean, not that's all you need to give for part one, just simple answers. Yeah, when did you last catch the bus? Oh, I took it 2 weeks ago. I went to visit my family's hometown. I went to see my grandmother. And the bus takes about 2 hours, but it was comfortable.
Yes.
Okay? Very
Just I
simple.
have to put a cup of coffee here and yours
Yeah, yes.
and just take a conversation.
Very simple. Okay. What
Yes.
don't what don't you like about public transport in Hanoi?
Um, I think uh when it's okay, let me start again. I think it's kind of comfortable, but however, the ticket price have increased recently, and also is don't have a frequent schedule for me to follow as um, as well as the private transport.
Okay. All right. So again, simple language, Ming Not. So the content of your answers are fine. Okay. So you can say, I don't like it because they put up the fare recently. They put up the price recently. And also, the bus schedule isn't very convenient for me.
Yes.
Okay? Just again, simple answers, just like that. The bus schedule isn't very convenient. The bus timetable isn't very convenient. The bus doesn't come very often. All right? Or the fare is getting a little bit expensive for me now. And also, the bus doesn't come very often from my place. Okay. Do you sometimes, I'm going to ask you lots of simple questions now so you can give me simple answers, okay?
Yes.
Ming Nok, do you sometimes go to bed late?
Bed is, bed, go to bed is mean sleep.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Well, definitely yes, because I am a Gen Z, so I got a lot of things to do in at the midnight than I have to do in the morning. For example, scrolling on my TikTok or maybe have just to finish my homework for the next morning.
Good, better, better. Okay, nice, simple answers. Nice, simple language. That's great. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, I've always said much better to speak simple language and make no mistakes. Okay, then they can't take any marks off you. All right, you've already kind of answered this question, but I'll ask you anyway. What do you do, Ming Nok, when you stay up late?
Um, when I stay up late, in addition to scrolling on my TikTok, I would try to finish all of my homework and housework before I went to bed because I think it's the best time for me to relax and concentrate on finishing all that task.
Better, getting better. How do you feel in the morning if you stayed up late the night before?
I think I felt kind of exhausted in some first time, but now I feel like I'm get accounted for it. Oh, I forgot about this phrase of about get used to it.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's can I start again? So
Yep.
it
Sure.
might be exhausted as the first time, but when I get used to it, I think it's quite normal to fit my biological timetable.
Okay. Biological, in English, the expression is biological clock, is what you normally
Oh,
say.
yes,
Does that make sense? Biological
biological
clock.
clock.
Biological clock. Okay. Let me see. Who is your favorite movie star? Do you have a favorite movie star?
Actually, I am particularly fond of Park Bo Gum, which is the like a very well-known Korean actors when he because he have a handsome face and go along with the like best acting skill ever.
Okay.
Oh,
Again, I'll ask you again. Again, you are making too many pauses, okay, for to be fluent. All right?
okay.
Who is your favorite movie star?
My favorite movie star is Park Bo Gum. He is a Korean star who is well known for his handsome face, his muscular body, and like her great acting skills.
Good. Better. That's all you need to say. Good. Much better.
Yes.
Just nice and simple, like that. Okay. Um, are international superstars popular in Vietnam with young people?
I think nowadays Vietnamese are keen on some international superstar because I think they are attracted by their appearance and also their characteristics. For instance, I have heard about the Charlie Charlotte Timothy is such a great star who act in Dune 2.
Okay. All right. Again, just be careful that you are not pausing too much. Okay. You are better when you
Yes.
just stick to simple language. All right. Do you like to cook, Ming Nok?
Well, actually, I'm not too particularly fond of cooking, but whenever I have a chance, I would love to cook for my friends and my families.
Would good, much better. That's good. Um, would if what would you like to learn to cook? Is there a special dish you would like?
Um, in the future, I would love to try some maybe like a boil egg. I'm not sure about the skill, but to finish a perfect boiled egg is took many skills and also many times to practice.
Okay. To cook a perfect boiled egg takes a lot of skill, not many skills, takes a lot of skill. Okay. And also a lot of practice. Okay. Is the better way to say it. Not many times to practice. Doesn't quite make sense. All right. To cook a perfect boiled egg takes a lot of skill and a lot of practice. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Again, very simple language. Okay. Just a lot of
yes.
skill and a lot of practice. These are all words you know. Okay.
Actually, the boiled egg is come off the top of my head, so I cannot think about of any other food.
Ah,
But the boiled egg
all
comments,
right.
yeah.
Just think about something like a cake. Cake.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would really like to learn how to bake a cake. My mum bakes delicious cakes, and one day I would like to follow her example. My favorite cake that she makes is chocolate cake. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Simple like that. All right. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Mm, my fa Actually, I am a big fan of some cone shades. A comb shade, which is like the beige color or nude color, because it makes me feel relaxed and convenient whenever I look at it.
Okay, what color was that? I didn't quite hear the word.
Is the comb shade is spelled CALM, and the example for it is a nude color and beige color, which is spelled NUDE and
Sure,
BEI.
sure, I
I'm
know
not sure.
those. So
GE, yes.
you were saying calm color. Calm,
Calm, calm.
calm. Yeah, but calm is not really a color, of course. You know,
I talk about the calm shades is the color.
calm, calm shades. Okay, all right. You would say, actually, I prefer, okay, or I like um, calm shades. Have to be careful how you pronounce that. Okay.
Yes, calm,
Uh,
calm shades.
calm shades, such
Calm
as
shades.
calm shades, such as
Such as,
beige or neutral colors.
oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Actually, I prefer calm shades, such as beige or neutral colors. All right. Um, well, do you like dark colors or light colors?
Um, for me, I prefer light color more because it made me feel lively and look me more vibrant because my personal color is towards the light color and some such as like the oh, it's actually I forgot the name of the color
All
is
right.
actually is
All right. While you're thinking, remember your plurals, okay? Remember,
yes.
makes me feel, makes me feel. Okay. I didn't hear the S at the end of make then. You said it
Yeah,
make me feel. It makes
makes me feel
makes me feel. Remember the S, makes me feel. Okay. Next question. Are you a tidy person? Tidy.
is kind of shameful to admit, but I'm not. I quite a messy. I'm quite a messy person, but however, I would love my things and my clothes to be. Oh, I have paused a lot.
All right, start again.
Okay.
No, no, that was a good start. Remember, and again, I'm sure I've said this to you, you can laugh. Okay?
Oh, okay.
You know, you say, ah, well, it's kind of shameful to admit, but I am not a tidy person. In fact, I'm very messy, and my mum is always complaining when she comes into my room. Okay? Just something easy like that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Start again. Are you a tidy person?
It's kind of shameful to admit, but I'm not a tidy person. And whenever my mom came into my room and she have to shout at me like, "Why you haven't tidy your room now?"
Okay, good. That's
Okay.
good. And you laughed. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. Now you are communicating, Mingnok. Okay, you are
Yes.
communicating very well. That's a good answer for a part one question. All right. Do you think, staying with the subject of tidiness, do you think people should be tidy all the time?
I think is I we don't have to be tidy all the time because whenever we tired or bored, I think we should let our head down and just forgot about the tidiness for one days and we will gonna like clean it up for the next day.
Okay, good. Whenever we are tired or bored, remember
Yeah,
are,
we
okay?
are tired. Yeah.
Remember, yeah, when we are tired or bored. Okay, on to movies now. What's your favorite movie?
Um, I'm not particularly fond of any movie, but I love the chance of horror movie, which is thrill me a lot when I see it, and also it's carry a lot of jump scare that I have to that made me impressed.
Do your friends like horror movies?
Actually, my friend always told me that you are kind of so unique because there's no one around me like horror movie as me.
What sort of movies do young people in Hanoi like? What sort of movies?
I have to say it must be rom-com. It's a romance and comedy, which is fit the type of every maybe like almost every young people in Hanoi because it carries some like romantic scenes along with some humorous scenes too.
Okay, good, good, good. So remember, what I don't want you to worry too much about making mistakes. Okay, I would much rather. It's much better if you are fluent. Okay, and make
Yes.
some mistakes than keep stopping and trying to think of the exact word. Okay,
Yeah.
would you like to be a movie star?
Actually, when I was a kid, I have dreamed about it once time, but I think the real life of the movie star are really hushed, and I find that it's not for some dreamy person like me.
Right, good, good. Um, are there many parks near where you live?
Actually, there are no parks around me as they are filled with buildings or oh skyscraper. Yes, that I feel
Skyscraper,
kind.
skyscraper, skyscraper.
Yes.
Okay, and remember, if you can't think of the
Mhm.
word, just think I'm surrounded by tall buildings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can I answer again to
sure, sure.
yes.
I'll ask the question again. Are there many parks near where you live?
Actually, there are not a lot of parks near where I live. I am surrounded by some tall buildings and like a heavy traffic whenever in the rush hour. I think it's not too wow. It's not to say
No,
wow.
no. It's you again. You started off fine. You started off fine, then you kind of ran out of things to say. Okay, so again, I would say something like, actually, there are no parks around where I live. Um, the streets are very busy, full of traffic, and there are lots of tall buildings too. There's no room for a park.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
something again, just something as easy as that. All right. Um, do you like going to parks?
Um, when I was a kid, I loved going to parks a lot because there are a lot of space for me to play, like the playground or the playfield. But nowadays, with my hectic schedule, I think I hardly can went to the park as usual as I do before.
All right. I hardly can go to the park as usual.
Yes,
You said I hardly can went to the park.
yes, I have
I
some
can
time. Yeah,
hardly go to the park like I used to. Okay. Do you think there are enough parks and gardens in Hanoi?
I think actually there are a lot of parks and gardens in Hanoi to meet the needs of the residents around there, but it's kind of sad to know that there are not a lot around me.
You said you used to go to the park when you were young. What did you used to do in the park when you were a child?
Oh, actually, I can think of a lot scenery when I was young. When I was young, I used to
Hmm.
play at the playground, and me and my friends try to build a sandcastle. Or maybe more easily, we can play hide and seek. That's my favorite types of game.
Okay, perfect. That's better. Okay, perfect.
Yes,
Ming, much better. Okay, that is the sort of answer you give. And you are much more fluent, okay, when you are not
yes,
thinking too much. Okay, good.
yes.
All right. Okay, looking now at your neighborhood, do you like the area that you live in?
Actually, I really love my neighborhood because I there are some friendly neighbors that they are always willing to help our family, and also there are a lot of trees around my house as my parents plants a lot of it, so the atmosphere around is kind of clear and fresh.
Okay, good. Again, you're just pausing a little bit too much. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Um, are there any famous people living in your neighborhood?
Actually, I think there are no superstar who live in my neighborhood because, well, in my neighborhood is kind of small and there are lack of house. So I think the most famous people I can think of is my grandparents. They are
Okay,
really
good.
famous in my eyes.
Yes, good. Good answer. Very good answer. Much better, Minna. Okay, and they will ask you, questions like that you've never thought of before, but that is the sort of answer to give. Okay. Exactly
Yes.
that. Actually, there are no famous people in my neighborhood that I've seen, but I think the most famous people are my grandparents. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Just like that. And just have a little bit of fun with a question like that. Famous people
Yes.
in my neighborhood? I don't think so. Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
the famous people all live by the lake. In my neighborhood, the most famous people are my grandparents. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You're just having a conversation. All right. Have there been any changes in your neighborhood recently?
Recently I think it's not changed much, but it going to construct more and more high building around my house. So it's always block our views to the a large view of sky.
Okay. Keeping going with the part ones. So tomorrow, by the way, we'll do part two and part three. Okay. But
Yes.
I'm keeping going with the part ones because I just want you to practice being fluent. All right. And
Yes.
just get used to answering the questions simply and just like you are chatting to me. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
do you like walking?
Actually, uh I'm not too keen on like some sport activities, but however, walking is one thing that I can do best. Oh, I think it's kind of horrible.
No, you had the beginnings of a good answer. Yeah. Actually, I'm
Yeah.
not too keen on sport. However, walking is something that I can do. And when I get the chance, I sometimes go for a walk.
Yes.
Okay, just like that.
Okay.
All right. If you get the chance to go for a walk, where would you go?
Mm, absolutely the park near me because it have a lot of green trees and also it had a lot of flowers that me and also my mom really keen on it.
Good, good, much better. Okay,
Yeah.
another random subject. Um, How many public holidays do you have in Vietnam?
Public holidays, have never thought about it, but to be honest, there are two or three big festival our in a year. For example, like Tết holiday or maybe some the Mid Autumn Festival, which is kind of I think the most specific festival in our country.
Okay, again, good. I haven't really thought about it, but that's good. Okay, that's good. You said the most specific festival in your country. Specific is not the right word. What do you
It's the
mean?
special. Yeah, the
Special.
special.
Special,
Yeah.
right. Special, okay, not specific. Right. Okay. Which public holiday is your favorite?
Um, to be honest, I love some short holidays, so maybe the Mid Autumn Festival is the best choice for me because I have a short time for to let my hair down, and also I have a time to gather with my relative, my grandparents, and also my cousins. I love my cousin a lot.
Great. Much better. That's good. Much better,
Yes.
Minh. Now you are starting to sound like you are chatting. Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so on a public holiday, what do you usually do?
On public holiday, actually, I except for some national festival like Tết or some anniversary of 30 of the April, we always just get together at my grandparents' house and we have just a little bit chit chatting about how's the life goings. Yeah.
Okay. So again, you stopped being fluent then because you were thinking. I can see you were thinking too hard.
Yes.
Yeah, again, simple question. What do you usually do on a public holiday? Oh, on a public holiday, we just get together often at my grandparents' house and we have a meal together and we sit and talk.
Yes.
Okay? Simple, again, simple like
Okay.
that. You don't need to say on a public holiday such as Tet or the anniversary day, which is on April the 5th. You're getting too detailed, all right? Just say on a public
Yeah.
holiday, this is what we do. Okay? All right. Do you think people need more public holidays?
I think the public holiday is I think it did more because I am a student now, so I want to have a lot of vacation during the year. I don't have to take a lot of class. And instead of I want to gather at my grandparents' house too.
Okay. Now, let's change the subject. We're going to talk about. Sorry, you can't hear me
Teacher, are you
very
okay?
well. I am,
Yeah.
like I say, got a bit of a cough.
Yes,
Music.
you.
Music.
Oh,
Yeah,
music.
music. When do you listen to music?
Whenever I have a chance to relax, it's usually like the at the midnight when I am alone and I can vibe with the music easily.
How much time do you think you spend listening to music every day?
Every day I have a think of it, but to be estimated, I think is about 2 or 3 hours a day because I want to try to find the motivation for me to study or maybe to work out. I try to find music.
What kinds of music do you like to listen to?
Actually, I'm not particularly keen on some genres of music, but to be choose, I will choose like K-pop, which has really a strong vibe and also the appealing melody.
Have you ever been to a concert before?
Well, it's kind of sad, but I have not saved enough money for going to the concert. But if I have a chance and like when I win the, if I won a lottery, I will, I would definitely go to a concert.
Okay. And again, the perfect answer to that question, well, that was almost perfect. You would go to a concert to see who? Who would you like to go and see? So
Oh,
you
yes.
say, sadly, I've never been to a concert before, but if I save the money, I would really like to go to a concert, and I would especially like to see.
Yeah, my idol.
Yes, yes, there. Okay, okay, all right. I think we'll finish shortly, but I'll just ask you a few more questions. All right. Okay. Do you like spending time by yourself?
I mean, you mean is spending time for myself?
Yeah, spending time just by yourself. As in,
Well,
do you like spending time alone?
spending time alone. Okay, so I think I love to spending time alone because I think allocating a period of time for myself is such a symbols of love, my self-loving. So when I have a chance, I will love to relax and let my hair down and listening to some music. I think is the best time when I can get to be alone.
Okay, so you've already answered this question a little bit, but how do you usually spend time when you are by yourself?
As I mentioned before, I love listening to music. Like sometimes give me a rest, like scrolling on a TikTok, or reward myself, like buying some sweets. I love sweets.
Great. Okay. The last time you were by yourself, can you remember what you did?
Um, I buy a sell like recently. I maybe just yesterday I have reward myself big brownies because I have finished all the workout. I think it's kind of a lot, but I think it's the self-loving, so it's worth it.
Okay, getting better. Better again, Ming Nok. That's better. All
Yes.
right. Looking at cake. This is a topic,
Oh,
apparently.
okay.
Cake. Do you like eating cake? Do you like eating cake?
Um, I love cakes. Yes, absolutely a big fan of cakes. But however, I can't eat it too like frequently because I'm getting on a diet to keep me in shape.
Okay, good. That's all you need to say. Perfect answer. All right. Have you heard of a sweet tooth before? Sweet tooth?
Yes, I have a sweet tooth. Yes.
That's the sort of answer you can give for that. Yes, I really
Yes.
like eating cake. I've got a sweet tooth.
Yes, it's
Okay,
like
that's
a
that.
taste in sweet. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, yeah. I've got a sweet tooth. That's a good English
sweet
idiom
tooth.
to
Yeah.
use. Okay. Have you ever made a cake?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, have you ever made a cake?
Uh, to be honest, I haven't tried to make made a cake before, but whenever I have a chance, I would love to try some. Maybe like the brownies or some pineapple cake. It's kind of weird, but I have eaten it before, and I was impressed by its flavor.
Great, great answer. Perfect. Um, what kind of cakes or desserts are popular in Vietnam?
A dessert, I think, is absolutely the bubble tea, which is getting more and more common nowadays when it's had the sweetened flavor and also with some bubbles. They are like a good things to chewing.
Okay, good. All right, that's better. Okay, getting better, Mingnock. So your answers are the right length and you're becoming more fluent now. You're giving more simple answers, but they are fluent and you're not stopping very much. Okay, one more set of questions looking at scenery this time. In
Scenery, okay.
scenery in Vietnam, are there many places with beautiful scenery?
Absolutely, there are a lot of beautiful scenery in Vietnam. For example, I can mention about Hạ Long Bay, which is such the must visit place whenever you come to Vietnam because it's had really a fresh and clean water and also like romantic as it's as romantic as film scenes too.
Mm, do you like to take pictures of beautiful scenery if you visit a place?
Definitely, I have stored a lot of beautiful pictures of where I have visit my in an album in my phone, because whenever I just open it and see through, have I can remember that how that experience was too.
Okay. All right. Not bad. All right. I think we'll finish there. I think that's enough for today. Um,
Yes,
so just careful with words album. Can you say album for me?
album,
Yeah, I know, a little bit hard for you. I know. Just words like that have
album.
L's in them. Okay? You have to
Yes,
say, I think you said to me album. Album.
album.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Which what's an album? Yeah. You
yeah,
have to say album. Album.
album,
Correct. Correct. Correct.
album.
Album.
Yes,
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Album. Album. Have to make that L sound, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Okay. So just I think what you should do when you have alone time, when you are by yourself, even when you are going to sleep at night, okay, just practice in your mind some of these simple questions. And I've asked you a lot of simple questions, do you like your neighborhood? What is your favorite color? What's changed in your neighborhood? Just practice just some of these and just practice in your mind. Yes, I
yes,
really like my neighborhood. It's very vibrant, and very colorful. It's very busy, but there are a lot of interesting shops, and I like watching the people. Okay,
yes. Okay.
simple things like that. Do you like going to the park? Actually, there are not many parks around where I live. But if I get the chance, yes, of course, I like going to the park. I like going for walks and seeing the green things. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Just practice in your mind, just simple answers to questions, simple answers to simple questions. Okay? And even if you can do that, like I say, when you are going to sleep, just try and do that for 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? Again, you're not giving
Yes.
yourself a test. Just practice in your mind, just using those English words and thinking in your mind how I can answer this in 2 or 3 sentences.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, we will have the class for tomorrow
Yeah,
at 10 a.m. Thursday.
10 a.m. Yep, 10
Okay.
a.m. Actually, I might see if Nok Ling wants to join us too. Nok Ling sent me
Yes.
she has sent me some writing, so I will correct
Yes.
that and maybe ask her if she wants to join as well. Okay, but tomorrow we will do 2 and 3, parts 2 and 3. Okay.
Teacher, can I ask about, like, it's not speaking but it's writing. So I think I find difficulty in, like, brainstorming about the brainstorming for body one and body two. Sometimes I got like 5.0 on task achievement because I totally talk about the other things that totally different from the topic, and I find, like, I think I can make it.
Right. Okay. So you are having trouble thinking of ideas. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay. So number one, remember you only need 2 ideas generally. Okay. Only have to think of two. Remember, one for body one, one for body two. Um, and you just choose. Of course, you don't have that long to prepare, but you do have a few minutes. So for you, you can do a paraphrase quite easily. So you don't have to think about that too much. So you just need to spend maybe 5 minutes. You will have 5 minutes, okay, to think of some ideas. 5 minutes is quite a long time. All right?
Teacher, yes, and
Okay, so you've got 5 minutes to think of ideas. And again, you are thinking
yes.
of the two most obvious, simple ideas. All right? And the ones that you know that you can write 4 sentences about. All right? So you are not, remember,
Yes.
you are just, again, simple. You are just trying to think of simple, obvious ideas. You are not judged on whether you can think of a brilliant idea. okay, or an original idea, the simplest idea. Okay. Do you think, for example, here's a part two question for you, writing part two question. Do you think
Mm.
it should be compulsory for all students to learn a foreign language? What is the advantage and disadvantage of that? The advantage and disadvantage of all students having to learn a foreign language.
The advantage for it is children can become a multilingual kids and can like not know the word, but they can absorb many knowledge and get used to many like other language as they I mean they have a chance to travel to other countries with a lot
Sure.
of knowledge.
Okay, let's
But
go back one step. Let's go back. Just tell me, what are the advantages? Just give me a list of the advantages of learning a foreign language at school.
for
What is the first advantage?
being bilingual,
Being bilingual. Okay, being bilingual because
because when they uh, learn the foreign language in parallel with their mother tongue, they will like have a I'm not sure that I mean I'm kind of bad at explanation for my idea. Even if
okay.
I can brainstorm it really quickly, but whenever I think about the explanation and I will find confused. So how to explain this? And I mean it's not exaggerating, but I always make the explanation is over about my thesis
O-
sentence.
Okay, again, let's simplify this. Let's break it down. Okay, so your main reason is the advantage is that you are bilingual. An advantage of being bilingual, it means you can maybe travel overseas to that country one day and you will have a better experience because you know how to speak some of the language. Also, being bilingual, probably good for your brain. Learning more words, different language, will help stretch your brain a little bit. Number three, being bilingual, of course, gives you an appreciation of maybe another country and its culture. So being bilingual, you learn a bit more about the world outside of Vietnam. Okay? So does that make sense? It's as easy as that. There are three simple explanations as to why being bilingual. So of course, yeah, by being bilingual is an obvious advantage. And those are the reasons why. Okay.
Teacher, so
Useful
which question should I put in that? Yeah.
so useful in the future.
I mean, yes.
Useful in the future.
Actually, I have to interrupt a bit. Yeah. I have to interrupt you a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to, if you can give me like in my Vietnamese literature, my teacher said that you can like ask a question to yourself to find the explanation. But so can you think of any question to like answer the explanation? For instance, like what will it cost? I think it's for the consequence, but I'm not sure about the question for explanation. I have learned about the structure of PEEL, it's a pill structure on the internet, and they say is
Mm-hmm.
like first is point, second is explanation, third is evidence, and fourth is like L is I'm not sure about L, but
Okay, all right.
it's a
So
conclusion.
I think I have a slightly different structure. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
similar but slightly different. So P is your point. All right. So in this
Yes.
case, your point is the advantage of learning another language is that you become bilingual. Okay, that is your point. All right. Then you need two explanation sentences. All right, and we've discussed three. One, being bilingual means maybe in the future will be useful for you to visit another country. Two, being bilingual probably good for your brain. gives your brain more exercise. 3, helps you learn more about the world and another culture when you can speak some of another country's language. Does that make sense? Excuse me.
Yes, I understood
Okay,
it.
and then the last
But yeah,
sentence of the structure I use is an example. Okay,
yes.
should be an example. So my structure is kind of like PEEE. Okay, so your point,
PE, yes.
yeah, yes, your point, okay, explain, explain, example. For
Yes,
example,
okay.
for example, I'm learning French at school, and one day I'm learning Japanese at school, and one day I really hope to use it to travel to Japan because I really like Japanese food and fashion. Okay? Does that make
Yes.
sense? Very
Yes,
simple. Okay,
teacher,
so next one.
should I make an outline for my writing text too? An
Yes,
outline.
yes, yes. So this is your 5 minutes. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so your 5 minutes. Okay? Remember, becoming bilingual. What are the advantages and disadvantages? One of each. Okay, one advantage, bilingual. Okay, just make quick note about then your explanation points and your example. Okay, take you 1 minute
Yeah.
to do that. Disadvantage. Give me a disadvantage of having to learn a second language at school. What's a disadvantage?
Disadvantage, I think they will forget about their mother tongue. They will be like misunderstood between their mother tongue and their language that they learn.
Okay, I don't think that's a realistic disadvantage. All right, I've never heard of anyone who learns a second language. Just because you are learning English doesn't mean you forget Vietnamese, of course. Okay,
Yes.
I would think it'd be the thing that comes straight to my mind. Okay, is well, if you are learning a second language, um, you are spending time on that instead of maybe something that is more
Oh,
important. Okay,
oh.
such as, I don't know, think of something, maths, science, Vietnamese literature, history, whatever.
Yes.
Okay,
It's not come off the top of my head, but kind of interesting.
yeah. So if you are learning another subject, it means you have to make room for it in your life. Okay.
Oh,
And
yes.
also another thing is not everyone is good at learning languages, just like not everyone is good at doing maths.
Hmm.
Okay, so being
Yes.
forced to learn a second language, okay, would be very difficult for some children because, they would not get a good mark. And because they don't get a good mark, okay, they would feel bad about themselves. And if they feel bad about themselves, then, that's not good for their mental health. For
Oh,
example, my friend tried to study French, but they couldn't pass it and they got very depressed. Okay?
I haven't, because actually I haven't thought about before. So yes, when you see it in my face, it's really impressed. Yeah.
Hmm. So, Deb, does that give you an idea of the sort of thing you need
Yes,
to do?
something, but I think I have to train a lot about giving explanation because even in my Vietnamese literature, I don't get a good mark because I'm kind of not too good at like explain for them to pursue them, even
Right.
in my Vietnamese literature.
Okay. All right. So, from what I know of Vietnamese literature, it's slightly different, of course, from the IELTS test. Okay. For the IELTS test, you don't need to think of so much detail. I think you need to, because you write much longer essays in Vietnamese literature, I think. Am I right?
Yes, a lot of
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, remember, so for this one, again, you only need to think of two ideas for something, one advantage, one disadvantage, one problem, one solution, one, what do you think of such and such? Two reasons why you think such and such. Okay. And then remember, you've got 5 minutes. Okay, then just to think of some simple explanation for this. Going back to our example before, why is it good to be bilingual? Which we
It's good to
discussed.
be
Yeah,
bilingual.
yeah. Why is it good to be
Is an
bilingual?
example
Yeah, and then an example.
is
So just two reasons why it's good to be bilingual. Good to be bilingual because you can use it to visit another country. Good for your brain. Helps you understand another culture if you can learn some of their language. Right?
yes.
Does that make sense? Just thinking of the most simple ideas. All you
Okay,
need to
so
do.
learn foreign language is
Yeah.
they can they can maximize the potential in a particular field is such a language. They
Yes.
have yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But again,
And
yeah, again, the simple ideas, and then again, just think of the main. What is the main disadvantage? Okay, so I think
main
your idea
disadvantage.
of saying if you learn a foreign language you'll forget your mother tongue, I think is not realistic. Okay, you have to think of a better idea than that.
Actually is the conventional thought of like many Asian parents actually.
Really, really.
Yes, sometimes I heard that they not allow their child to learn like English maybe because they think that it will like they will lost their own culture.
Okay, okay. So that is fine, Ming-nok, as long as you can think of some explanations for that. Okay,
Yes,
okay. Exactly what you've
but
just explained
yes,
to me. You've just said. Um, some people are worried that they will lose their mother tongue. They will lose touch with their own culture. Yeah. And also
yes,
another one, it might mean if they are learning a Western language, they might start to um, become addicted to Western culture. And there are things about
yes,
Western culture that Vietnamese people don't like. Maybe there is things like drugs and alcohol and things like that Vietnamese parents don't want their children to know about. Okay, so again, so as long as you can think of some explanations, okay, you can give that reason.
mm,
Okay,
okay,
okay, all right. Going to leave you now.
yes,
All right. So I will
yes,
see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
yes. Thank you
Okay,
so much for this. So I think like
that's
I wrote in my mind a lot, like 10 times.
that's fine. No, I hope it helped, Ming Nok. So Ming Nok,
Yes.
you shouldn't worry too much. Like I say, your vocabulary is pretty good, good enough.
Yeah.
It's good enough. Okay. Um, you
Oh, but
just
I'm
have
still scared.
Yeah, I know you're a bit nervous. You just need to get used to just for the speaking, just chatting. Okay, the speaking, just
Yes, just
chatting, and
chatting.
again, chatting with
I have to keep it in mind.
the simple ideas that come to your mind. What do you do on a public
Yes.
holiday? Oh, we usually go to my grandmother's house. My family and all my cousins come, and we just catch up, and we sit and talk, and we have some food. My grandmother
Yes.
makes my favorite, which is spring roll. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. I love spring
Easy,
rolls.
just yeah. So just easy answers, simple like that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay, all right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you a lot for today, and I will see you tomorrow too.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Tạm biệt, gặp lại sau.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye bye.
Yes. Goodbye, teacher.
Bye bye.